What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. I want to give you guys an update on Joshua and Ben Davison, the situation thereof. According to Eddie Hearn said that Anthony Joshua chose to train with Ben Davison because he had more time with Ben Davison as opposed to going to the US of A, working or training for 3 weeks, then having to go to Saudi Arabia and acclimate to the temperature there because those are two extreme temperatures. Well, to counterpunch, that makes sense because that is a short notice fighting Otto Wallin. I don't know the conditioning of Otto Wallin, but a lot of people were pretty much fast-tracked. And a decision had to be made. And it lets you understand and it lets you realize that these quick decisions that were made can get made if the right money and the right power is behind these particular fights. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is, I do wonder what Ben Davison has to offer. You know, you guys seen my video with him training with Ben Davison. You know, it's known that he's training with Ben. You know, Ben has earned his stripes with guys like Josh Taylor and Devin Haney and, you know, Tyson Fury and now Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, he's a man that's building a reputation as opposed to John Fury shooting him down as a trainer way back in the day, stating he's just like a, you know, physical training, you know, coach or whatever. And as well as a, you know, an official trainer that's, you know, that's obligated, that's qualified to, you know, train the likes of, you know, bigger world champion fighters. Okay. What do I feel about it? I guess it makes sense because, you know, you want more time with Ben Davison. Ben Davison, he's there already with Ben Davison, but it's only temporary. Okay. So it's a temporary thing. You know, I always wonder the complications of relearning based on Anthony Joshua himself. You know, will he be able to pick back up the progress with Derek James? You know what I mean? That's what I ask myself. See, trainers train you different ways. You know, it's like it's like working on an art. You know, and then you're going from jiu-jitsu to a ground, like to a to a striking style. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to revert, you know. So I'm just wondering, how can AJ acclimate back to Derek James after being with Ben Davison? My personal opinion, I think if AJ fights Otto Wallin and has a successful fight and he's able to understand, he's able to gel, he's able to be better coached by Ben Davison, my guess, people, would be he's going to stay with Ben Davison. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, it sounds good now because I think AJ, you know, wants to let people know something after having 2 fights this year with Derek James and then going with Ben Davison just because of time. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, I think I think trainers are a vital asset to your team. You know, so for him to change his team like that just based on time, the question you ask yourself is that a good enough excuse or a good enough reason to just up and change trainers like that? And I have to, you know, you guys have to use your own opinion, because at what point, the question is, what could Ben Davison teach AJ in this vital amount of time that will compare to what Derek James was training AJ for this whole year, basically? That's the question you ask yourself, you know. But yeah, the reasoning behind it seems cool because it's more time with a trainer. But how good is the trainer if you've already had a trainer that you have newly, you know, started working with? You know, will it become confusing? See, I remember guys that were in, like, you had Mark Hicks, you had Sam, what's Sam's last name? I forget his last name. Bald-headed cat. But when he fought Alexander Povetkin, you guys can remember he had Sam and he had Mark in his camp, and it was kind of confusing. You know what I mean? Because you had one guy on the side of him and another guy in front of him. You know what I mean? As opposed to AJ, he had Robert Garcia and he had Angel Garcia or Fernandez, right? Yeah, he had Angel Fernandez and Robert Garcia in his camp. And, you know, I think that's rather confusing. Now, they won't be there at the same time, of course, but you do wonder, though. You do wonder, like, okay, you know, what can he take and use with Ben Davison versus, you know, going back with Derrick James? You know what I'm saying? So I guess time will tell. So if he does get past Otto Vailene, and another question is, what if he gets beat by Otto Vailene? He gets beat by Otto Vailene, and then what? You know, will he blame Ben Davis? then will he question, you know, his decision on going with a new trainer all of a sudden to take on a pretty game southpaw? It's a lot to think about, people. But most importantly, here's the update. It's supposed to be a temporary fix. You guys tell me if that will be temporary or permanent. I will give a poll to you guys. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!